represents power for me.
I honestly do not know why I like black, but I feel like black is like, it suits every occasion.
Yeah.
Black is, except for celebrations, but you know, black is more like everything.
Yeah, I mean, black matches with everything.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Right.
Yes. So, what is in the news now?
So we've had, after the elections, the build up to the inauguration, the conversation has been about the President John Dramani Mahama. He's done some appointments within the week. So yesterday he made some key security national security appointments. Some names have been mentioned to head certain departments in terms of security. That's also in the news, as well as the recall of diplomatic passports. That was big yesterday.
It's been a conversation, especially on X.
Yeah. And then I agree with you when you say it's been a big conversation, especially after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a list of persons or individuals are supposed to return, and then some persons were listed. We're like, wow, all these people have diplomatic passports. It was a shocker to many. All these persons have been asked to return their passports as well. Aside that, fuel prices are going to increase marginally at the pumps from January 17th. I don't know how much you are already paying for fuel. But
you know, yesterday I was complaining to Miriam about it already, that, you know, anytime I get to a fuel station, I don't want to mention the company because that's where I like to buy my fuel. And, you know, mechanics will advise you that if you're buying from one particular brand, buy from there, keep buying from there. But if you keep on mixing it, it might spoil your car. So me, I'm very big on that. So anytime I get there and they are like, oh, no fuel, I get the impression that it's not about we having a shortage. It's just about they about to increase the prices. So you go around and you realize that as soon as I get to one station and they said there's no fuel, then I know it's all around. It's a general thing. You get me? So I don't know what is going to happen about that. Is it too early for this government to say that, well, we cannot bring it down as you were expecting? You get me? I don't know. I really don't know.
But also in international news, the Marburg virus is on the rise, especially in some parts of Africa. In Tanzania, it's on the rise. You know, the World Health Organization has spoken. He says that, you know what, it's serious, but it is not to an extent where we have international spread. I want to find out from you, looking at the back of the outbreak of viruses, we've seen Ebola, we've seen COVID. These two are like major ones. And the World Health Organization is saying that, look, you know what, there's no cause for alarm. In as much as people are dying in other countries, it is not yet international. Do you think that we should prepare ourselves?
Yes, of course. I mean, we've heard it before. I mean, oh, it's not, even with that of COVID. I mean, when it started, it was in China. And it was reported as it being very, very dangerous to the whites, quote unquote. But when it comes to the black skin, it doesn't get it. It came down, and look at the damage it caused.
Kind of
yes. So regardless, so far as there's an outbreak somewhere, and you are even saying, did you just say Tanzania?
Yeah. That's like close.
Yeah. So let's get prepared for it, because you never know. Yeah, we need to. Absolutely. Well, let's get into the stories then.
Let's get into our stories. My name is Augustine Adam Kobiti Saint, and begin off with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has released a list of specific individuals and entities required to return diplomatic and service passports issued during the tenure of the Akufo-Addo-led administration. Now, this move, directed by the Office of the President, is aimed at ensuring compliance with current eligibility criteria and safeguarding the integrity of these official travel documents. Now, this also comes after President John Dramani Mahama, through his executive instrument, directed the recall of the passports, which he said was necessary to ensure their proper use, prevent misuse, and protect Ghana's integrity. Now, the President therefore directed the Chief Director of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to notify the diplomatic passport holders, set a deadline for their return, and conduct a thorough review of their documents. Now, according to the statement issued by the Ministry on Wednesday, January 15th, the recall affect several groups, including former ministers and their spouses, former MPs regardless of political affiliation, and members of the Council of State and their spouses. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs put out a statement. Let's run you through what it says in the statement. And this says, a recall of diplomatic and service passports. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs wishes to inform that it has been directed by the Office of the President to recall the diplomatic and service passports issued during the tenure of the previous administration of the underlisted category of officials. Now, the category of officials include the former ministers and spouses, former members of parliament irrespective of political affiliation, former members of the Council of State and spouses, former and retired justices of the superior and lower courts, former regional ministers, metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives, chief executive officers of state institutions, the chairs and members of boards, the officials of the National Cathedral Project, the former presidential ambassador, political ambassador and dependents, businessmen and entrepreneurs, religious and traditional leaders, former government functionaries, and all persons holding official passports not currently serving in any official capacity for the state or otherwise, holding any position that falls under the requirements of Section 6 and 7 of the Passports and Travel Certificates Act 1967, NLCD 155. The above-mentioned officials are to return their passports to the Legal and Treaties Bureau of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs not later than Friday, 24th January 2025. The recall exercise is to ensure a review of all diplomatic and service passports in line with the current eligibility criteria for issuance. It is further aimed at preventing misuse and safeguarding the integrity of the diplomatic and service passports. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs counts on the cooperation of all holders of diplomatic and service passports to undertake this important exercise as directed. And that was a statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, urging all persons with diplomatic passports to return them before Friday, the 25th of January 2025. Now, away from that, Prime Minister of Mali, General Abdoulaye Maguier, has arrived in Ghana for an official visit. Now, he was welcomed by a high level of government delegation. The Prime Minister was greeted by the legal advisor to the President, Marietta Brew, at the airport. The purposes of his visit is to engage in bilateral talks with President John Dramani Mahama on strengthening bilateral agreement between the two countries. Now, the discussions are expected to cover areas of mutual interest, including trade, security, and regional cooperation.
Son Excellence le général d'armée Assimi Goïta, président de la transition, chef de l'État du Mali. Nous avons l'honneur d'être là ce soir, à Accra au Ghana. Nous sommes porteurs d'un message de la part de notre président, un message destiné à l'endroit de son frère, son Excellence le président John Dramani Mahama, qui a été investi le 7 janvier 2024. 2025, au regard bien entendu de l'excellente relation entre le Mali et le Ghana. C'était tout à fait, en tout cas, c'est normal tout d'abord de souhaiter une bonne chance au président investi, nouvellement investi, démocratiquement élu du Ghana, le président John Dramani Mahama. Nous prions le bon Dieu qui l'accompagnent dans cette riche et exaltante mission. Pour le moment, je préfère m'en tenir là. Comme je l'ai dit, nous sommes porteurs d'un message qui est destiné d'abord et avant tout à son Excellence le Président de la République du Ghana. Merci pour cet accueil très chaleureux.
It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to receive His Excellency Abdoulaye Maïga and his team from Mali this evening. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama asked me to receive them on his behalf. We have meetings tomorrow to discuss the mutual interest between the two countries. It is a sign of the good relationship that the two countries have had in the past and will continue to have. And so this evening, you are welcome, you and your team, and we wish you a very warm stay in Accra. Thank you very much.
Now that was President Abdoulaye Maïga, Prime Minister of Mali, where he expressed some goodwill messages to the President, John Dramani Mahama, and noted that he's here on an official visit to, have some bilateral talks with the President in terms of security as well as some interest between the two countries. And he was received by Presidential Advisor Maretta Brew, who spoke to the media earlier. Now, let's still stay on the presidency, where John Dramani Mahama has announced a notable security appointment aimed at strengthening national security and ensuring the safety of citizens. Now, heading the list of appointments is Prosper Douglas Bani, who has been named the National Security Advisor to the President. Now, Mr. Bani, a former Chief of Staff and Minister for the Interior, brings extensive experience and expertise in governance and security to the role. DCOP Abdul Osman Razak has also been appointed National Security Coordinator, tasked with ensuring a cohesive and strategic approach to the country's security initiatives. And the President, in a statement signed by Felix Ofosu Kwache, acting spokesperson to the President, also named COP Nathan Kofi Boakye, retired, as Director of Operations at the Presidency, where he will observe operational effectiveness in security matters. Now let's take a look at the statement. President Mahama makes key national security appointments. Now, former Chief of Staff Prosper Douglas Bani has been appointed National Security Advisor to the President. Now, Mr. Bani, a former Minister for the Interior, brings a wealth of experience and expertise. DCOP Abdul Osman Razak will serve as the National Security Coordinator, ensuring a cohesive strategy across all security initiatives. Now, COP Nathan Kofi Boakye, retired, has been appointed Director of Operations at the Presidency to observe operational effectiveness in security matters. Now, Charles Kipo has also been named Director General of the National Intelligence Bureau. The appointment reflects the President Mahama's commitment to enhancing national security and ensuring the safety of citizens. And it was signed by Felix Kwache Ofosu, the acting spokesperson to the President. Now, away from the presidency, let's do some energy, where petroleum product prices are expected to increase marginally at the pumps beginning Friday, January 17th, 2025. This has been influenced by rising prices of crude oil on the international market and the recent pressure on the cedi. The cedi started 2025 on a losing streak, depreciating marginally by 0.38% to the US dollar in the retail market. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Riversing Opong, explained that global crude prices and the recent cedi depreciation are the main drivers of the projected price increase. And according to him, drivers were stable until some changes were noticed in the global price of crude and the strength of the local currency. And that's some news for fuel and petroleum consumers. Now, away from that, let's still do business, where the Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, has praised former Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, for his role he played in implementing Ghana's program under the IMF Fund. According to her, his efforts have strengthened Ghana's economy, but has also inspired confidence in Ghana's future. This was contained in a letter from for the managing director of the IMF, Madame Kristalina Georgieva. She highlighted Dr. Amin Adam's dedication to Ghana's program with the IMF, adding that his dedication in implementing the IMF support program helped foster higher inclusive growth and had profound impact on Ghanaians. She expressed confidence that Dr. Amin Adam will make a meaningful impact as a member of parliament. Let's run you through the letter MX24 News cited. She wrote to Dr. Amin Adam. Now, for the full details of the letter, I want to visit mx24.app/voting voices for the full read of the letter. But now let's bring you to Ghana, where renowned journalist Kofi Adomwa is receiving urgent medical treatment in Dubai to restore sight in one of his eyes. Now, this follows an accidental shooting incident at a funeral in Doma in the Bono region last week. Now, the accident occurred during the firing of musketry by some chiefs at the traditional event. Now, according to sources close to the Kofi TV CEO, Kofi Adomwa was repositioning himself when gunpowder from one of the guns which had just been fired struck his face. The incident caused severe injury to one of his eyes, leaving him unable to see. Now, the journalist's other eye was also affected, resulting in blurry vision. Now, initial medical attention was provided in Ghana before his transfer to Dubai for specialized treatment. Now, his wife, Mrs. Adomwa, has also put out a statement. So she says that, sorry, I can't respond to the numerous WhatsApp calls on my phone, and that's of my husband. Currently, he is stable, and we hope for the best. Thanks for the care. And this was on her Facebook page earlier this morning, where she says her husband is receiving treatment and is stable. Now, away from that, let's do some international matters, but related to health, where the World Health Organization has warned of a suspected new outbreak of the Ebola-like Marburg virus in northwest Tanzania, saying that at least 8 people have allegedly already been killed by the disease. On Tuesday, the World Health Organization said that 9 suspected cases of the Marburg virus were reported in the region of Kagera over the last 5 days. The highly infectious disease is similar to Ebola, with symptoms including fever, muscle pains, diarrhea, vomiting, and in some cases, death through extreme blood loss. Now, Tanzania experienced its first Marburg outbreak in March 2023 and in the Bukoba district. It killed about 6 people and lasted for nearly 2 months. Now, Tanzania's authorities have not yet confirmed the latest outbreak, but the World Health Organization has reported that patients, including health workers, have been identified and are being monitored. It added that the country's rapid response team has been deployed to help identify suspected cases and contain the outbreak. The World Health Organization cautioned that the risk of the virus spreading in the region remained high because Kagera was a transit hub with much cross-border movement to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, Burundi, and Rwanda. However, the World Health Organization says that the global risk posed by the outbreak was low, and there was no concerns at this stage of the disease spreading internationally. Now, the Marburg virus is transmitted to humans from fruits, bats, and then brought through contact with bodily fluids of infected individuals. There are no specific treatments or vaccines for the virus, although trial runs are being tested. Now, away from that, let's do some international news and visit the United States, where the United States on Wednesday imposed hundreds of sanctions threatening Russia, seeking to increase pressure on Moscow in the Biden administration's final days and protect some sanctions previously imposed. Now, the U.S. State and Treasury Department imposed sanctions over the 250 targets, including some based in China, aiming at Russia's evasion of U.S. sanctions and its military-industrial base. As part of the action, the Treasury imposed new curbs on the almost 100 entities that were already under sanctions, potentially complicating any future efforts to remove the measures. Russia's embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to requests for comment. That was according to the BBC. Now, the Treasury in a statement said Washington was imposing fresh sanctions on almost 100 critical Russia entities, including Russian banks and companies operating in Russia's energy sector that were previously sanctioned by the United States. This, it said, that the move increases secondary sanction risk for them. The new sanctions are issued under an executive order that a senior Treasury official said requires Congress to be notified before any of the actions could be reversed. Now, those were some news coming in from the international front, especially with what I just read coming in from the United States of America, where it has imposed some 100 sanctions against Russia in the final days of the Biden administration. Well, Kojo? Yeah.
Interesting. And I think I saw a post, I don't know how true that is, but Michelle Obama saying that she won't be present?
At Biden swearing in. That's on the 20th, yeah. She's not going to be there. Well, I still think that it is the stalemate that brewed in the breed to the 2024 elections in the U.S. So I think it's been, because even at the funeral of Jimmy Carter, she wasn't there. And if you look at the sitting arrangement, her husband sat close to Trump, meaning that if she was there, she would have been next to. So clearly, she just doesn't want anything to do with Trump. But well, we just hope that
the irony of it.
Yeah.
The irony of it, the husband is clearly. It talks with him, you know, like he feels like, Barack Obama is like, I mean, anyways, with the virus, as I said, I mean, if I clearly heard you that there are no vaccines available for that, because this morning, I think someone also made a post on X that we should be saying bye-bye to vaccines very soon, like you know, the needles itself, because scientists have discovered a new way, and that would be more like a cream, but would still have that impact as much as the needles would do. You get it? But I don't know whether it's going to be painful as the needles, but I think it's because of the pain that maybe you're being pricked. You get it? So this time around, you're applying the cream, and then you still get, you know, whatever medicine you need to get into your system. Would that be something that you'd be looking out for? Do you love vaccines, though? There are some people who would want to take vaccines than taking in drugs itself.
Exactly. I'd rather want to, because I love the. It's not like I love the injections, but as much I'd rather prefer that
than taking in the drugs.
Okay. I really do not like that.
Anyways,
I know, right? But I was also coming to the issue of the diplomatic passports. I mean, looking at the list of persons I went through, you know, the National Cathedral Project members, we saw the spouses of members of parliament. Exactly. Don't you think that it is a tall list of individuals we are awarding diplomatic passports to? Because for me, when I saw the thing, I thought, okay, so it's probably ministers of state, members of parliament, you know, like ambassadors, envoys. I didn't know it was a tall list like that.
I'm equally shocked. Not shocked per se, but then I know that, you know, sometimes certain positions allow you to have your dependents, you know, benefit from that. So I wasn't too much shocked about the spouses bits and the dependents bits. But then, as you said, it's a tall list. You get it? Because when it comes to diplomatic passports, I know it's restricted. Yeah. You get it. It's really restricted. So, but mind you though, this is for validation. They're going to go through a process, and if maybe your passport deems it fit that you need to have one, you will definitely be awarded one again. So I think for me it's a call in the right direction, because maybe people have misused it.
I think so.
You get it? Maybe they've realized that people have misused it. So let's bring it back. Let's validate it. You know, let's see whether you really need that or you are entitled to that or not. You get it? So, in the space of that, I'm sure definitely all those who are taking their passports back, you know, a chunk of them will still get it back.
Right.
You know.
But then mine was another question when I saw this that popped up was the timing. I don't know for you know other after elections, especially after the 2016 elections when former President Nana Akufo-Addo won power. I cannot remember the timing of this, the call for diplomatic passports, because obviously the administration, the outgoing administration, which was the president's administration, would have been recalled for their passports would have been recalled. I don't know for the time, because it has also generated some sort of conversation on social media where people are like, you know what, it is early days for you to do this, but you know, as part of just protocols to re-strategize the system. Yeah. I'd really want to know if the timing is like, you know. I
don't think for this government timing is they are hitting the ground running, and they are in action. I mean, from this to this to this to this to this to this, you get it. So timing bit, no, I don't. Okay. I don't think it has to do with let's. If this is not a priority to them, they wouldn't have started it. Right. You get it. So, yeah. Right.
Well, that's all for the morning news on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Adam Kobitisen. Remember, you can get more news when you visit mx24.app/voting voices. Get the latest on news updates with regards to politics and the world at large. You want to stay tuned to the AM Club and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, Augustine, thank you so much for coming in with the very best of news right here on the show. It's still the AM Club right here on MX24. Quick break. When we come back, there's more coming your way. Please stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Welcome back to the show. This day is the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Kojo Dasabra. Now, thank you so much for staying with us. It's time for us to get into some sports updates. Yes, and we get straight into it. So our first story, Ghana Premier League side Accra Lions have announced the departure of head coach Ibrahim Tanko, ending his 3-year tenure. Now the club, which has praised Tanko for his contributions to the team's success, announced the decision on social media. Tanko handed over his responsibilities to German trainer Rainer Kraft, marking a smooth transition of leadership. Now Tanko also thanked the club for their support and expressed his pride in the club's family-like nature. Under Tanko's guidance, Accra Lions finished second in the 2023-2024 Ghana Premier League campaign. Well, away from that, but still on football, Arsenal moved to within 4 points of Premier League leaders Liverpool with victory over Tottenham in the North London derby at Emirates Stadium. Now, the Gunners, who have played a game more than Liverpool, were desperate to return to winning ways after losing at home to Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg and then going out to Manchester United on penalties in the FA Cup third round. Now, Arsenal suffered another setback when totally against the run-off play. Sun Hoon Min's shot was deflected off William Saliba past keeper David Raya after 25 minutes, but came back to win the game by 2-1. We've got highlights.
Take that one away from Solanke.
In heading balls into the goal in one way or the other when it comes to the Gunners. But anyways, that was on the brink. Away from that now, Emma Raducanu reached the Australian Open third round for the first time in her career with a dodged victory over American opponent Amanda Anisimova. Now, the 22-year-old Briton won 6-3, 7-5 after fighting back from breaks down in each set. Now, Raducanu, ranked 61st in the world, will face Polish second seed Iga Swiatek next. right here on the show. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. Well, you do know what to do. You just have to catch up on all the fun, the excitement on mx24gh.com. Well, up next is some entertainment updates right here on the show with Daphne Flashley. She's up next. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning. Welcome to some news segments right here on the AM Club, the biggest show in the country, outside the country, internationally, in the galaxy, every single way. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Lady. How are you?
We're good.
I'm fine. Today, what are you serving as Mimi? Esquire with blue, you know.
You tell what I'm serving.
Me.
You can't tell.
Chef, let us know what she's serving.
What am I serving? She has no clue.
Yeah.
No clue. Today, no clue.
No clue. That's good.
I think really classic, casual, just being cool, really.
That's
just
fine.
being 18.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's quickly get into it. Now we have Reggie Rockstone, Guam Papa, who ironically is married to a very beautiful, industrious woman. And remember when we went to Roxwachi, we went to Distebe, made her give you a try. Exactly. But in an interview, Reggie Rockstone actually spoke about the fact that marrying one woman is not in our culture. So that means he sides with polygamy, which I'm confused because, I mean, he's married to just one woman. And so let's quickly get into it and understand why he gave that sentiment. Legendary Ghanaian musician Reggie Rockstone has sparked a conversation about monogamy and polygamy in African culture, stating that the concept of one man being with one woman is a foreign idea imposed through Christianization and Westernization. Rockstone, who is committed to monogamy, attributed his choice to his personal disposition rather than cultural expectations. His comments came as some African leaders, including Bishop Dag Hayward-Mills, have publicly endorsed polygamy, citing biblical and natural examples, with the bishop questioning why men should limit themselves to one wife when animals, even biblical figures, had multiple partners. As your face like that.
Kind of confused, yeah.
Yeah, I am. If I have never seen the video, because I've heard people say that Archbishop Dag Hayward-Mills mentioned, and I think he came back to explain what he was trying to say. I don't think the explanation sat well, because people are still staying with what he said initially. Now, you know, when you started the story, I opened my mouth. I was like, what? Ironically, married to one.
Exactly.
So now the story is really, so that he's ironically married to one woman, but is endorsing polygamy. Oh, I got lost. I'm sorry. I got lost at some point. But I mean, and listen, you can believe in one thing and do the other. Like the way we believe in God and we still sin. Right? Yeah. And so, maybe, like he rightly said, like, I mean, it's his choice. He decided that, you know, Mama Zila is the one he wants to stay with.
Exactly.
But given the chance, you know, he doesn't think that anybody should stay with one woman because culturally we are allowed to do that, which is fact though. But I mean, if we're accepting Western clothing and lifestyle, we might as well accept their culture. That says that one man, one woman
is enough, right?
And every woman knows that they want their man to be with them. Just one person. Yesterday, Prof was telling me that I can only imagine what she would do when she gets married. And so ironically, this comes up. But yeah, I mean, that's his belief, and if he stays with it, that's it for me.
That's fine.
I just don't want the response from Zilla, because Zilla has a way of throwing shades back at him when he says things. So
JKD, we spoke about the cultural side, right? Let's do a little bit of spiritual side. You're married to one woman.
Oh, sister.
I'm putting you on the spot. But you know, you're married to one woman. Obviously, I'm sure you're never going to marry another one again. Your wife is enough. One woman is enough for you. Now, in the Bible, as Doug Archbishop, he's an
Archbishop. He's not an Archbishop.
Okay. Bishop Doug stated that even in the Bible, there were men in the Bible that were married to 2 or 3 or whatever. Like, do you agree with that?
I don't know for a fact the circumstance in which Bishop did say that. I've not seen the video too as well. I've not seen it anywhere. You get me? So I cannot speak to that, to that extent. But for me, and what I have been made known as part of my spiritual growth is the fact that the examples that are given in the Bible is not for us to literally copy it. You get it? The examples there they are there because to let us know that, I mean, we're human. So these things are things that happened. You get it?
Yeah, I get it. It's like the fact that David who went to take someone's wife and killed the person. It doesn't mean you to. It's fine for you to go. Yeah. I get it.
You get me? There are no examples to. In fact, the downfalls of every great person in the Bible is there to let you know that you're human and it can happen. Okay. Not for you to literally go and copy. Simple and TTR.
Simple and TTR. One to one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you heard their opinions. So let's quickly move into it. Now, Sammy Flex had a conversation about why most of the times when there are shows that are in UK and most people in the UK don't attend. And I think this is very, very, very important. Now, he had this conversation, and actually, as I listened to it, I got something out of it. Now, he was having a conversation with someone, right? And what the person stated was, sometimes most of these artists, they go to the UK and they are doing shows, and any little inconvenience, they leave the stage or they cancel or this or that. So now if you keep canceling, right, and sometimes you want to attend an event, and then he used himself as an example. He has kids and he has family, and then he has to leave his kids, he has to leave his job, he has to do this, and then go attend the concerts for the love he has for you, and then you just cancel like that. It kind of hits him differently, and then now when another show comes, he's like skeptical if he should attend or not. But we have a video today. Let's take a look at the video. When we come, we discuss more about it.
The issues are, over the years, a lot of things happen. So we all know there was a disconnection between artists and promoters. There's a disconnection between promoters and the fans. And there was also a disconnection between the fans and the artists. It's like a triangle. Yeah. That was the issue. So because of all these things that was happening, because a lot of things happened in the past where we put shows together, artists don't pull up, or the show is cancelled last minute. We live in the UK. Like, even for me today to get this interview this evening with you, it was difficult. I live with my family, kids, and so you have to make arrangements for everything. So when people do this, and then last minute the show is cancelled for whatever reason, and I get it, things do happen, but at the end of the day, let's be real. When these things happen, people are gonna get annoyed.
Yeah.
You know, someone has taken a day off work or paid a babysitter or whatsoever, put all these things together just for last minute, like for the show to be cancelled. So those were the things that kept happening in the past. Hence why people kind of got fed up. It was almost like, oh, me didn't go for a show, grad there. Yeah, and I have an example. When I did the Familia show, after the show, I was getting phone calls. Someone actually said to me that they didn't think Familia was going to perform.
Wow.
Like, yes.
Wow.
And this is not the recent one, because that wasn't my show. I'm talking about my own show I did in the past. You know, like I think last year or 2 years ago, when I did this, someone said to me they didn't think Familia was gonna perform. And other people told me they didn't think Familia was coming. Even though Familia was in the UK. This is just one example, and there are many of them. You see what I'm saying? Right. So people just, there's no trust.
Between the promoters and the audience. There was no trust then.
There's no trust. There's no trust. You see? And it's like I said previously stated, that we've worked hard to kind of get them to come out and to see things like that happening, what happened. So the issues are...
Let me ask you something. Facts or not? Are these facts or not?
Ask the lady who went to the UK.
I'm asking the lady, actually.
Actually, so I was billed to host the Ghana Music Awards UK when I went there. And the event was cancelled when I arrived. So then we had to switch up and do some other production business. So that has happened. I personally was very disappointed because I was looking forward to hosting the event. I was looking forward to beefing up my CV with that. And I think a lot more creatives, especially bloggers and stuff like that, had already landed in the UK before that happened. So I personally experienced that. And sometimes, genuinely, it's not the fault of organizers. So in the UK, right, you can book a place and depending on the hours that you have booked it for, they can cancel on you. And at the time, I think the facility that we're using was declared to go under construction because the government had come to investigate and realized that it wasn't fit for any other thing, but they had to fix a few things on it. And you know how these Abuja people are like, there was a crack in the wall. No, we have to. Oh, the AC wasn't working. Oh my God, the place is not good enough. And so there were these complaints, and then looking for a place to host the events the same date was not possible. So they had to reschedule. It did affect a lot of people. I think the event ended up not having the artists that were supposed to be on the bill. So everything he said is is actually true. And definitely that would deter people from participating in some of these events. Because to leave your house for 20 minutes for your child to just be in the house by himself, you can lose your child. So a lot of, and then the jobs they work to attend event like this, you have to plan ahead, you have to take days off ahead, you have to make all these plans. And this I say, what's me for a call in sick, then you don't come and go and attend. But no, that place structures and systems work or are in place. So unfortunately, you can't be doing these things. First, the fact that it's not the fault of the organizers, and the other things are the fact that people are really on tight schedules, especially in the UK, and so it's a young fan situation. If you can show up for these events, and for organizers, look at the timelines, and promotions need to go ahead of time. Sometimes the booking of the artist is the problem, which is why they will not bring maybe artworks out. Because say the Saturday is the point of sale. Or no value na yet turn.
Did you say they know about the events, but they don't bring artwork out.
Yes. Like, so they have, like, for instance, they'll not bring artwork out for the event because the the product they're using to sell the event is the artist they're putting on the bill. So if they're bringing Sarkodie is the reason why people would attend that event. Obviously. Because why are they coming? So if they don't have Sarkodie, they're not bringing artworks out yet. Or sometimes they'll bring the artwork out and then they'll say, anticipate or whatever. Who is going to come for an event that they don't know who's going to perform, right? And so all of these things come to play. So Onyan confirming location, but the event date is due. Artist hasn't confirmed yet, so we're stalling with the artworks being out, and it is dragging everything. So 1 month to the event, they're not releasing artwork or
then the public. That's what he spoke about, the publicity.
And then the people that are living in the UK, they're not able to make these things as fast unless they schedule flexible. But a lot more people, a lot of Ghanaians live in the UK are on very, very tight schedules, and so to show up for these events, very difficult.
And I want to add this. This is just an advice to organizers and whatnot. Those of them who feel like, and in the back of their minds, that when they put surprise guests would make somebody come there, they should stop that thing. Munjai.
Oh my God.
Surprise guest. You see, and I think they feel like that, like they put their whole attention to that, and they feel like that's an icing on the cake. Like you're giving us something else. And you won't concentrate on the artist that maybe you are bringing the bill. Because why would I want to pay and come to a concert when I don't know who is coming to perform?
Surprise guest.
And then surprise guest artist.
And you even see the surprise guest and then it's some artist in Lashibi.
What's wrong with you people?
What do you mean? We Lashibians.
I'm also a Lashibian, but I know what I'm saying. I've been to Lashibi studios and so I know what I'm saying.
I mean, you concentrate on guest artists, surprise guests. What is that?
A promotion in because you know that, like I was trying to tell you earlier, or like I was saying earlier, the point of sale is the artist you're putting on board. It's not you the organizer. But I'm going to pay to come for an event that Sarkodie is going to be on, that Shatawale is going to be on. And you see, that is that's the difference between the Ghanaian event promoters and the Nigerian event promoters. Because they know where to put their money and how to recuperate those monies. These Nigerians going to the UK, I was in the UK when they bought one of these Maven artists, I don't know his name, or blonde hair. I don't know whether he's still there. They did like a small event. It's supposed to be a small event.
Intimate, yeah.
It's supposed to be an intimate event. I think just about that same time, Davido was in town. So they made him swing by. And they put that on. And he's going to be swinging by. So people are going to show by, not because of maybe the artist that is there, but because Davido might pass by. So whether he comes or not, it is on the event organizer to make sure that happens, because their crowd don't like lies. So maybe over the years, the lies that have been told the Ghanaian community, the conversations that haven't gone right, and the event planning, sometimes, or even planning, is totally poor. Put it together for an event. You know, and the Nigerians don't play like that. That's their money you're playing with. No. They will get top-notch location, get good art, and put them there.
Once and
they make the money back.
Right. They make the money back. They do make the money back. Wow. That was an amazing conversation we had. See, I think I should do this more. Talk chit-chats. It will be called the chit-chats, this one, show on AM Cloud. Anyway, we're moving on to our last story. And please, Moses Bliss doesn't like that. You people.
Hey. Are you Moses Bliss? Like, are you the PR?
He doesn't like that. They are doing AI picture saying that that's his baby. He doesn't like that. He has posted this. He said, please, otherwise God will come for you. You'll be duly dealt with on Pesa. Let's get into it. Nigerian gospel artist Mrs. Bliss has cautioned fans against sharing fake photos claiming to be his newborn child. Following the announcement of the birth of his first child with wife Mary Bliss, Bliss took to Facebook to express gratitude for the outpouring of love while emphasizing the importance of respecting their family's privacy. He urged fans to stop circulating incorrect photos, including AI-generated images, and assured them that he and his wife will share authentic photos of their child at the right time. So let's take a look at the Facebook post. Okay, said, please stop circulating other people's baby pictures as ours. We appreciate the love, but let's do the right thing. We have not posted our child. Let's stop the AI images too, please. Oh,
I like it. I like it. When people put their business in public and are telling the public, shut up, don't talk about my business that I brought to you. I like it. I really, really like it.
Ironically, or you're serious?
I'm serious. I like it. Because how on earth do you know Nadia Buhari?
Yes. She can be hugging her daughter. I don't know her daughter's face.
Do you know Beyonce?
Like,
you people cannot do one thing and expect a different result. You know, there are people that have been married in this country, had a private wedding, have 4 wives, and nobody knows their business. They won't come and put it on social media. So don't come and put your business on social media and don't and sit down and expect that people who have data on their phone will not engage you. They will.
At this point, I think like we should be used to it by now.
And the other side, I think that when we're doing this, we should expect the negatives as well.
Obviously.
You're expecting that people Moses Bliss, congratulations. But you don't expect people to come and be messing with your business. They will mess with your business. So that is why people like the names I mentioned will have full-grown children, have a full-blown pregnancy, and nobody will see anything until they decide when to bring their children out. And when they do, they are ready for the conversation. Because I remember there was a time that there was this poll that was put on social media that, and Nadia Buhari won the most boring creative.
We like.
But most boring creative, no, do you know who her husband is? Do you know her children's face?
And even comes with peace of mind, Charlie. That boring creative.
You yourself, you are creating all this, but when you got married, you did a whole album. When you give birth, you did a whole album.
He has that album.
My brother. Yes, we respect the fact that you are desiring that people will not come for your life. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You put your business out there, people will give you angles of the conversation. It will shock you. It will shock you. They'll give you a picture of your own child. You will be, and
that's why he said that they've generated AI.
You'll be wondering, hey, it's me that I born. Is it your morning?
That's why they've given you an AI photo of his baby. What's so cute?
Obi cry generative Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
I think that we should quit that. I don't know if it's sheer ignorance or it's just we playing entitled.
Can I ask you a question? Please. So now what do we do then? Because if you're saying that if we want to be low-key, we should be low-key. I also think that at some point in time, he thinks that he also owes it to his fans to at least, update a little bit more. Like,
have you met J. Mike? Owes.
Like small things to his fans, right?
Owes. I mean, he says this very clearly, right? And I heard this thing from Jim. He said, if you're looking for to be politically correct, let me see if I can say it well in the public court of something, court of public opinion or something like that, you're going to be getting the ripple effect of it. Right? You sit out here and looking to be loved by the public until you're putting all your business out here. Do you people know that? And I heard, I'm not saying this emphatically, the pictures of Miss G that is online, the pictures from months ago, the baby is probably walking by now. Is that the baby is walking? When she left, they said, she's going to do events. She went to host a couple of events. Did you see Miss B host the event? Miss G, she hosted the event. I didn't see her baby bump. But she was apparently due, almost due. So you see, when we are talking about you yourself protecting your own sanity, this is what it is. Be a if you want to be a reality star, where you document every single day of your life, please be ready. Look at the Kardashians. Use them as an example. People call them talentless, but they are making money. But they are making money off the clout they create.
But the thing is, they always have anxiety. That's the thing.
But that's what it comes with.
They always have anxiety.
If you want the court of public opinion to continuously have an opinion in your life, you're going to get anxiety. You're going to be depressed because they're going to say things about you that will break you. Because not everybody there likes you. So if you are not ready for all of this, because even though they might comment and say, "Oh, nice girl," somebody will say,
it takes me back to, you know, this LA fire, right?
Right.
It takes me back to the LA fire when Chloe was like, "Oh my God, Kim's LA home is burning," and the comments, I was like, whatever, whether they are rich. Someone said that you're rich, you can get a house in a day. You're rich, like the negative comments. Whether I just feel like, oh my God, they've still lost something.
Something.
But they don't care. They just said that I don't care.
You want the public's approval, but you don't want their bashing. It doesn't work like that. It does not. The same energy you're using to receive the positive energy, the positive response, it's the same energy you should embrace the negative with, because that's how it works.
You should embrace it with.
Please, your car battery. It has a positive side, it has a negative side.
I was shocked. I was going to say, car battery? Yeah, so for me...
Do you understand it?
I get it.
Your car battery has a... If it was positive, it can spark it. So you need the positive and the negative to make it work.
So since he wants to be a public darling, he should be ready for all the things that it comes with.
You got my proposal. There was a song. The song, it blew. We liked the song.
And we made money.
Who can say you didn't make money out of this? You get me? Now, Nathaniel Bassey's one, no. Me, I didn't even know it was
Thanksgiving service.
It was.
God is proud of Moses, please.
You get it. So if you're doing that and you're making, then cry, any man or woman born of a woman still has people that will come after them, whether you like it or not. You get me? You bet me I post pictures this year. Obeka said, your hairline. You're this.
Your hairline
you're that.
Is gone,
this. Yeah. This one is rich man hairline. You get me? So get ready, and especially if you're a public figure, you are somebody that people know and everything. You would have your positives and you have your negatives.
I was telling Mimi yesterday.
So add them.
You're giving me.
I posted. I think the dress I wore, I was fully covered everything. The woman said that am I not? This is because of this. Like, is it not too much because I am very this? I was like,
you're endowed.
Hey, so, but I was fully covered though. Is this not? She said, hey, is this not too much for? It's too much for an endowed woman.
So that is it. So if you use that and you can and say. That day you cry, God, why am I
remember there was a time someone told me that, when I take pictures, why don't I want to post just one? I am saying so the millions one of my. What should I use it for?
Why?
It's a man carousel. Made one by one. You come and see the same dress. See, you're putting yourself out here. A lot of people are going to have opinions about your life. If you do not like it, please stay away from the public.
That's all.
Your wife never was in this business of clout. She was on social media and she was doing things but she was doing things skewed in a certain way. You bring her into this. Be more, empathetic towards the environment that you've created for this chick who is new to this your environment to build a more safer place for her. So if you see that when you post here, because me, I should be more than anything. Because it is paining me. I didn't want to act like this because the family, I don't want to act like this. But listen, it's not right what he's doing. Because when he brought the girl's picture the very first time, did you hear what was happening? First, she got accolades. Oh, look at Moses, listen to marry a very demure girl. They always marry the quiet ones. They always marry the cool ones. Then it went to her wedding. Look at the bashing the girl got for her wedding. Look at so many things that kept coming up. But you kept putting her in the front. You kept doing this to your own family. Me, I don't understand. Dear future husband.
No. But you can't say.
What will happen for you both to see him? Unless he likes. But I think that we public figures should protect our families.
Okay.
Because the opinions of the people out there is harsh.
It's harsh, right.
You know?
It's harsh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a good conversation right here, and I hope you enjoyed it. So you can go on our social media pages, right? At MX24 TVGH, and then get interactive with us. My name is Daphne Flashley. Today, I look amazing. Thank you so much, Big Girls, for always doing this. Big Girl says we are doing styling today, right? So instead of me to wrap the skits like this, she said that let their hair show.
No, this is beautiful. I like it.
Yeah.
It's properly styled.
I love
this
it.
is properly
and is it,
styled.
Wait.
This is like a sweater dress.
Yes, this is a sweater dress.
There are two dresses I want from Big Girls. There's this one.
And then the one that they are working on it, don't worry.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, because I want it. I really want to buy this one. It's so cool.
Is it because of the endowed this thing that you decided to do clerical? Sister,
I can't believe you.
Free.
I can't believe. Please.
Feel free.
Please.
And then see that. Feel free.
Please, JKD, you should come to Big Boys. They have amazing things. Even though you're not a big boy, but you definitely get something.
Oh, there's Big Boys?
Yes.
Since when?
Oh, long
Me, I'm
it's
a big boy
girls
in a
and
different
big
level.
boys.
Ask Miriam, she'll tell you. Big boy in a different level.
Anyway, they have amazing stuff. I know the shoes, wow, Peche, you get a lot of it. So
yeah?
We are going to Asamajan filling station.
All right, enjoy the rest of the show. I'll away same time tomorrow. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Daphne, for coming through with those entertainment stories. Now, let's get into other things. Now, did you know that all the 41 LPG, what did I hear?
There's fire on the mountain. There's fire on the mountain, but anyways, let's get into it then.
Right, now the 41 LPG companies and 800 stations across the country are 100% built and operated by indigenous Ghanaians. When you refill your cylinder with us, you support the growth of indigenous businesses and create more jobs. But that's not the only reason for you to choose us. Our LPG distribution system offers unbeatable value, allowing you to buy any amount of the products in whichever quantities you need, making it incredibly pocket-friendly. Worried about being cheated? With us, you can watch Feely with your eyes wide open as your cylinder gets filled. Plus, we have weighing scales at every single station, so you can double-check the weight of the quantity filled. That is trust guaranteed. Switch to LPG for your car, especially if you drive a taxi. It is more environmentally friendly, helping protect our precious ecosystem. Go green with LPG and make a difference. Remember, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. Refill your LPG cylinder at your nearest gas station and help save our forests and environment. Let's protect Ghana for this generation and the next. LPG Marketing Company Association of Ghana, your affordable, pocket-friendly, trustworthy, and eco-friendly choice.
Well, in today's dynamic business environment, a robust workforce is pivotal to achieving success. This is why we have thoughtfully designed our corporate health insurance plans to empower your employees and bolster your organization's performance. Now, with Equity Health Insurance, your investment transcends ordinary insurance. It represents a commitment to the future of your company. Our health plans are individually tailored to accommodate the unique needs of your employees, offering comprehensive coverage and exceptional benefits. Our support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your side throughout the entire journey. Please feel free to reach us on 5124-0539 135073 so that we can further enhance the level of service we provide to you. Always #here for you.
The Telecel More Money promo excitement is at its peak. Over 50 winners have already walked away with 30,000 Ghana cedis each in the weekly draws, and we are getting closer to rewarding one customer with a grand prize that is 1 million Ghana cedis. 1 million, hey God, 1 million Ghana cedis in the Telecel More Money promo, guys. That lucky customer could be you. So keep purchasing data, airtime, or reload your fixed broadband to get closer to becoming a millionaire. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning. Don't miss out. Dial *500#, send WIN to 500, or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in for free. Join the Telecel More Money promo now and change your life forever. Because 1 million Ghana cedis, what will you use 1 million Ghana cedis for?
First, I'll pay my tithe.
Most important, number two, pay my 500 Ghana cedis.
I still owe you 500.
Yes, you owe me 500 Ghana cedis. You have to pay that money.
I'll give it to you on a special day. I'll tell you about that. Not your birthday.
Not my birthday, because my birthday is a little far.
No, not your birthday.
Okay. All right. So terms and conditions definitely do apply. The promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caris's lottery platform, Telecel Connecting Energies.
Well, that's a wrap for Coffee Daily right here on MX24. Stick and stay with us. There's more coming your way. You know how we always do right here on the AM Club. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Every day is packed with its own surprises. You never know which thrill is around the corner.
Feel good. Feel good.
Or how it will play out. There's a sense of excitement.
Did our plane just stop? Another cash out.
That adds a little magic to my everyday.
Feels like a party tonight.
Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible without a strong relationship. You've been with me through university. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles, you were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
Over 20,000 winners.
In total, we spent about 4.5 million Ghana cedis.
Telecel More Money promo gave Ghanaians the chance to win big simply by staying connected.
Really 30,000 for Telecel.
With every data purchase, we paid school fees, grew businesses, and improved over 20,000 Ghanaian lives.
So far, you're looking around 22,500 winners. And what you are witnessing today, which is the grand prize, is 1 million Ghana cedis.
1 million Ghana cedis!
The cash prize I won was 1 million Ghana cedis. I'm going to use this money for my education.
At Telecel, we're committed to connecting people and spreading positive energy. Thank you, Ghana, for choosing to stay connected.
Shopping just got easier, better, and smarter. A-Z Department Store, your trusted go-to shopping destination in Ghana. It's live online. Experience the same trusted in-store excellence from the comfort of your home. From fashion to lifestyle essentials, we've redefined shopping to suit your lifestyle. Simply visit www.onlinestore.azgroupgh.com. Browse, click, and enjoy seamless shopping anytime, anywhere.
The offers get even better. 10% discount on first order, free delivery. Note that you can pay via cash on delivery, Momo, and Visa. A-Z Department Store, lifestyle redefined.
Your home, your sanctuary, and a reflection of your personality, your style, your dreams. At Accento Projects, we understand the importance of bringing your vision to life. With a decade of expertise, we've mastered the art of transforming spaces. Right from historic restorations to modern marvels, we solve complex building problems with creativity, craftsmanship, and dedication. Whether you are renovating, restoring, building anew, or simply refining your space, we listen, we care, and we deliver exceptional results. Accento Projects Limited. We don't just build structures, we bring your dreams to life. Contact us today at on 02-0888-2722 or 02711424749.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
big conversation for this morning at Equity Health Insurance. The well-being of our members takes precedence. We recognize the unique healthcare needs of individuals and families, which is why we are delighted to present our Ebusia Health Plan. This health plan is crafted to promote the enduring health and happiness of you and your loved ones. Of course, our plans are meticulously tailored to offer comprehensive and competitive health insurance coverage for individuals, families, and smaller groups. Access to quality care is just a phone call away, offering continual assurance of your family's welfare. Contact us today on 0546 645 465 or 050 3860 381. Equity Health Insurance, we always say, we're always here for you. Are you passionate about interior design but don't know where to start? Or maybe you're an aspiring designer looking to elevate your skills? Look no further. Introducing Design Lab by Salom Dream Maker, powered by Accento Project. Our comprehensive training and coaching courses are designed to solve the biggest challenges faced by both budding interior designers and construction teams. From mastering the latest design trends to understanding clients' needs and project management, we've got you covered. Whether you're a complete beginner or looking to refine your skills, our courses offer something for everyone. Learn from industry experts, gain hands-on experience, and join a community of like-minded creatives. Register to reserve a slot for our January sessions, which is this month, and transform your passion into a thriving career. Our students have gone on to create stunning spaces and successful businesses. Ready to take on the next step? Well, contact us today on 020-888-2722. That's 020-888-2722. Or visit our office at Ajirengano. That's right here in East Legon. Design Lab, where design dreams come to life. Even more this morning, shopping just got get a bit more easier, getting closer to getting to a very easy shopping experience. It got better and smarter. A to Z Department Store, your trusted go-to shopping destination in Ghana, is now live online. We are live online. Experience the same trusted in-store excellence from the comfort of your home. From fashion to lifestyle essentials, we've redefined shopping to suit your lifestyle. Simply visit www.onlinestore.azgroupgh.com. Browse, click, and enjoy seamless shopping anytime, anywhere. So please just jump onto the website, that is www.onlinestore.azgroupgh.com. A to Z Department Store, where style meets convenience. Style definitely redefined, and that is what A to Z is giving to us. Well, done selling. Let's get into the big conversation for this morning. Today we are having a conversation on cervical cancer, and joining us for the conversation is Dr. Esther Ackah, the medic.
Dr. Esther Yesuto Agbozo. So Aya is just Esther Yesuto Agbozo.
Okay.
Yes, the medic because I'm a medical doctor.
Of course. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
She is, of course, a medical doctor, and she's about to take us into the biggest conversation for this month of January. And if you do not know this, I know it's not as popular as other conditions that we highlight during the year, but cervical cancer month is January, and we try to use this month to loud enough the conversation on cervical cancer. For you females watching this morning online and on air, it is an important conversation, so please stay with me, okay? Cervical cancer has gone on to kill more women around the world than many cancers, and it has become important to have this conversation this month. So let's get into it. Since we all are going to play oblivious this morning, or we do not know, or ignorance of the conversation this morning, I say that carefully and respectfully, I'm going to ask you this morning, but before we get into that, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you doing? Many happy returns.
You look stunning.
Oh, thank you. You look beautiful as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the conversation, cervical cancer. What is cervical cancer?
Okay. So cervical cancer is simply cancer of the cervix.
Okay.
Right now, somebody will ask what the cervix is. So when you take the females, our reproductive organ, we have our womb, right? Then we have the cervix. and then we have the vagina. So the cervix is a connection between the womb and the vagina. Right. So now when you have cancer of the cervix, that is cervical cancer. Now somebody's even wondering, what is cancer at all? Cancer is just an abnormal growth of cells. So God in his own wisdom has programmed our cells to divide at particular points in time, and some cells have to die at particular points in time. However, when there is any change in the DNA of the cell, some of the cells will refuse to die when they're supposed to die, and some of them will multiply more than they are supposed to. So now we have an excess of cells. Right, this excess of cells now becomes an abnormal, it can become like a mass. And then this mass will now begin to invade on the surrounding tissue, can move to other organs in the body and cause problems. That is basically cancer. So when we say cervical cancer, we're talking about cancer of the cervix, which is the connection between the womb and the vagina.
I have heard this quite a lot, that we are not sure what causes cancers. Is this the case for cervical cancer as well?
No.
Okay.
For cervical cancer, luckily, we know the main cause of cervical cancer, which is a human papilloma virus, right? So this is a virus that is sexually acquired. Now, this virus, it has been shown that about 70% of cervical cancer cases are caused by the human papilloma virus. And so if you get this virus, the unfortunate thing is that most people can get this virus and go on for years without any symptoms, and they will not know. The very first symptom they will get will be the cervical cancer diagnosis, right? And so people with the human papilloma virus are at risk of getting cervical cancer. However, there are some other risk factors that we can talk about. So we are looking at people who smoke. Now, it has been shown that all sexually active people, almost all sexually active people, would have the HPV virus infection at some point in their lives. So once you're sexually active, at some point you would get the virus. However, our body is able to fight the virus to a good extent. So most people will be able to eradicate the virus from their system. But there are a few people who will not be able to do that. And they are the people who may end up with cervical cancer, right? And so when you take the other risk factors, we are looking at smoking. It has been shown that people who smoke, for some reason, when the virus gets into their system is not able to eradicate the virus.
That's women who smoke?
Yes. Even men. Now, we say cervical cancer and we think it's a women's problem. To surprise you, the human papilloma virus can affect men and cause cancers in men.
In different type of cancer in
yes,
men.
Penile cancer, throat cancer, just that they don't have a cervix. So it's not like they are spared automatically. Because if your partner has the HPV and you're a man and you get it, you can get other forms of cancers. So you are not entirely spared as men. Right.
Absolutely.
Yes. So it has been shown that people who have who smoke, they can't get rid of the virus from their system for whatever reason. It has also been shown that people who use a lot of oral contraceptives are at more risk of getting cervical cancer. The reason is that these contraceptives have hormones, right? And these hormones have the ability to change the morphology or the structure of the cervix, right? Which makes it easier for it to become cancerous, right? And it has also been shown that women who have had multiple children, right? So again, having too many babies becomes a risk factor. The unfortunate thing is that having too many babies is protective for some health conditions, and then it becomes a risk for other health conditions.
What health conditions is it protective of?
So when you take something like endometrial cancers, the ovarian cancers, having more babies sort of reduces your risk. And then now it increases your risk for cervical cancer, so you can try just to stay in the middle. Yes.
Women.
Yes.
But still, you would think that we're entitled? Really?
Yes.
Anyway, let's get into... if there are some genetical factors that contribute to getting cervical cancer, could you get cancer just because someone in your family had cervical cancer?
So you see, when we talk about cancers, because we are talking about DNA change, it is possible. However, when you take cervical cancer, for instance, we don't attribute a lot to genetics. It is possible. Even data has shown that back in the day, women who were trying to avoid miscarriages, when they are pregnant, they are giving a particular medication, right? Now, this medication, just because your mother was exposed during your pregnancy, can predispose you, the child, if you're a female, to having cervical cancer years down the line. So there's a little genetic factor, but it is not so much for us to, pin it on genetics. The main culprit when it comes to cervical cancer is the HPV virus. Yes.
Right. Now, let's get into, before I come here and tell you that, oh, I have cervical cancer, or I could be prone, or I look like I have cervical cancer. What are the symptoms I'm supposed to be looking out for in my body to recognize that this could be cervical cancer?
Right. So like I said, majority of women will go on for years with no symptoms. So when you get the virus, you can go for 15 to 20 years, no symptoms at all. For people who would eventually get symptoms, some of the symptoms they would see would be pain. So pain, we're talking about pelvic pain, which is we would describe as lower abdominal pain, right? So this pain can be during sexual intercourse. It can be during their menses, such that it is more severe than the cramps that they usually have, right? Some women will begin to have abnormal uterine bleeding or abnormal vaginal bleeding, simply put, right? This bleeding can be outside of their menstrual period. So it is not time to have their menses, but they are bleeding. Maybe they are postmenopausal women, they are not supposed to be bleeding anymore, but they are bleeding. Maybe it is time for their menses. They are bleeding more than they would usually bleed, and then the period is extended. The number of days is also extended, right? So we can look at abnormal bleeding as well. And then when we take all cancers, there are some symptoms that are peculiar to all cancers. One of them, classic, weight loss. So somebody is having unintentional weight loss. They don't plan to lose weight. They are eating, but they are losing weight. Some people will have fatigue. And any little thing they do, they are tired. The reason is that cancer cells tend to attack other organs in the body, like your liver, like your lungs, like your kidneys, right? And so at the end of the day, these organs help you to stay strong and all that. So when they are being attacked, automatically you begin to feel weak, you have fatigue, some people have night sweats, some people have fevers and all that, right? And then again, for cervical cancer, some women will have vaginal discharge. This vaginal discharge, it may be bloody, it may be clear, right? And it will have a foul or offensive odor. Right? And the thing is that because some other sexually transmitted infections have the same or similar symptoms, you can say automatically that it's cervical cancer. But once you're sexually active, right, especially if you've had multiple sexual partners, all your sexual partners have had multiple sexual partners, right? Then it means that you're at risk. So when you come, we would, of course, do the screening for the other sexually transmitted infections or all the other vaginal infections you can have. And we will throw in the cervical cancer screening just to be sure that that is not what it is, especially depending on your age. If you are over 30, 35, then we are looking at getting you screened for cervical cancer.
Right. Now, let's backtrack a little bit to this conversation being introduced to the Ghanaian woman. When breast cancer was introduced, for a very long time, people were demoralizing the conversation and also making it look like it was demonic as well. Until, I don't know who made it happen, but WHO might have helped. Lots of bodies that saw the conversation as a very important one, pushed it to a point where we had survivors coming out, setting up foundations. Now it's a big thing that in October, no organization can lose sight of campaign for you to be screened and what have you. But it also looks like gradually we're moving towards the conversation of cervical cancer, but it's not as loud. How do you think Ghanaians have embraced this conversation, and what do you think we are as, from a medical person's perspective, how are we approaching the conversation now as a Ghanaian woman?
Yes, I think that people are getting more enlightened. But you rightly said, a lot of people are actually ignorant about cervical cancer, right? So even when they come to the hospital and you're telling them that it could be this, they begin to think about all the spiritual things. Most people want to go and pray first, even before they come and do the test and all the treatment that they could possibly explore, right? So we are getting there, but we are not there yet. The reason also is that because this is a more of a sexual conversation, because it's HPV, which is sexually transmitted. So for somebody to get it, it means there was sex involved. And the Ghanaian people are not, so okay with discussing sex for whatever reason.
But they have sex.
Of course. That's how we all got here in the first place, right? And so because of the sex aspects that are attached to this conversation, a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about it. But I think that if we continue to make noise like we did with breast cancer, eventually we will get to a point where people will become comfortable accepting that this is a conversation we should have.
Now, when it comes to that as well, it's also a screening conversation. At what age should you start screening for cervical cancer?
Right. So the WHO would tell you that usually you expect to start screening after 30, right? The reason being that by then your risk is a little higher. However, other literature also suggests that you can start as early as 21. Once you know that you've been sexually active, because one of the risk factors is early contact, which is early sex. If you had sex at an early age, you should start screening around 21. Now, when you start around 21, between 21 to 29 years, you should repeat the screening every 3 years. So every 3 years, you do the test. We call it the pap smear, right? So you do the pap smear every 3 years. But once you hit 30 upwards, we expect you to do what we call co-testing, where you are doing the pap smear plus testing for the HPV virus, right? Because the pap smear only tries to look at your cervix to see if there are any abnormal cells. But then the co-testing will do the pap smear, then we screen you for the HPV virus as well. And then the good news is, if you don't have the HPV virus, we can go on to vaccinate you to protect you from, even if you do get exposed to the virus, your risk of getting the cancer becomes almost zero.
Right. I was going to go into that. Like, how do we prevent it totally? So one of it is getting the vaccination for the virus.
Yes.
How available is the vaccine in Ghana?
The vaccine is available in Ghana.
And how much is it?
The truth of the matter is that depending on where you go, right?
So it's not free?
No, it's not free. Even the screening for cervical cancer is not free. We are not there yet.
Oh.
Yes, because the pap smear, I think just 2 days ago, I was having a conversation with a lab friend, and he said it's around 200 to 300.
Yeah, I do the pap smear, I think, twice a year for some strange reason.
Oh, you don't have to do it twice a year.
I know, and that's what my doctor keeps saying. Maybe you don't have to.
You don't have to do it twice a year.
Well, I don't know. I just like to be extra sometimes.
Yeah.
But also, again, the other things the pap smear, achieves. Also there.
Yeah,
so you want to do it. It's better done twice than never, than none.
True.
Okay, so please allow me. But yeah, there is that.
Yes.
For the
screening is not free. The vaccine is not free.
But it's worth it.
Yes, it's worth it, and I think it's cost effective. It's not too expensive.
Absolutely.
But then again, a lot of people may not be able to afford it. So that is why we need to have a lot of campaigns where organizations will be interested in sponsoring free cervical cancer screening, free vaccination. It would go a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, does the vaccination have an age range where you can get it? Or?
Yes. So the WHO recommends that we vaccinate people before they become sexually active. So usually the target age is 9 to 14.
Wow.
Before they become sexually, we are hoping that they become sexually
by that time they are not.
But of course, we see a lot of
and there's also the bit where children are usually abused before they get to that age.
Yes.
And so unwillingly they've been introduced to a space where they are not ready for.
Yes. But the WHO recommends that between 9 to 14 years you should get vaccinated. But if you are beyond that age, it's not too late. You just have to screen for the HPV virus. If you don't have the virus, you can get the vaccine.
Okay.
But if you do have the virus, then it means that, unfortunately, there's no cure for the virus, right?
Is it?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So there's no medication that we can give you to eradicate the virus.
So it comes into your body and it stays there?
Your body can get rid of the virus.
On its own?
Majority of people, their bodies get rid of the virus.
Right.
But there are select few that the virus, for some reason, stays in their body.
Let's stay on the body getting rid of the virus by itself. What kind of immune system can get rid of the virus on its own? And what do you have to do to be able to do that kind of, for your body to be able to take part in that kind of exercise?
You just have to have a healthy immune system.
Right.
People who don't have a healthy immune system are people who have diabetes, people who have HIV, people who have any form of cancer and they are undergoing chemo or radiation therapy. Because these things have been shown to, suppress your immune system. So if you don't have any of these things, technically you should be able to get rid of the virus. However, again, there are some questions that even we medical professionals can't answer. For some reason, some people will not have any of these conditions, but the virus will still stay in their body. But most of the time, the people who end up with the virus are people who have some other conditions. So the diabetes, the hypertensions, the HIVs, because data has been shown that people with HIV have a 6 times more risk of getting the cervical cancer.
Yes, because their immune systems are damaged.
It's damaged. Can't fight the virus at all.
At all.
Right. So to have a healthy immune system, it's just the basics that we talk all the time. Exercise, good diet, sleeping well, managing stress. It's just the basics. Nothing special.
Nothing special.
Yes.
So this year, as we're talking on cervical cancer, we've also learned this morning that HPV virus, when it gets into your body, can be, attacked by your immune system if you have a good immune system. So like she said, one thing that we're campaigning this year is healthy living. You've done all these years of your life doing all the things you're not supposed to do, had lived your life, soft life, hard life, all the lives you've done. Now it's time to take care of yourself. A healthy life is the new cool, okay? So eat well, more fruits, more vegetables, so that your sexually active life will not destroy you. Because again, we're learning this morning that once you have a good immune system or a strong enough immune system, you're able to fight this virus so that you're not too prone or too vulnerable for the cervical cancer too. Now let's go back to our conversation, cervical cancer.
Yeah.
Now you have the cancer in your body. It's been, discovered late or early. Early stages of cervical cancer, what are you able to do?
So if it's discovered, we have stages. So we have up from stage 1 to stage 4.
Wow.
So when we discover cervical cancer, maybe at stage 1, where it is confined to just the cervix, so it has not spread anywhere. It's just the cervix, right? We have a lot of options. Most of them are surgical options. So your surgical options are, we can go and just take out the part of the cervix which is affected, right? Then we can follow it up with either chemotherapy or radiation therapy. Our other option is we can go and take out the entire womb because the cervix is connected to the womb. So if you are done having babies, you have no business having babies again. You don't need your womb for anything. We could go and take out the entire womb. Case closed, because there's no more cervix, there's no more cervical cancer, right? And then for some people, we can do what we call ablation therapy, where we are using heat to damage the cancer cells, right? We can also do cryotherapy, where we are trying to freeze the cancer cells to kill them, right? So there are options like that. Now, for women who have maybe stage 2 means that now it's gone a little beyond the cervix, so it is spreading to the other organs. So the womb itself is there, on the sides, the pelvic wall is there and all that. Once it begins to get into the pelvic wall, again, we can do the surgery, take out the cervix and follow up with chemoradiation therapy. But it may not be as effective as stage 1. Right? Then by stage 3, it is compressing on the other organs like the ureter. The ureter is the connection between your kidney and your bladder, where your urine comes out from. Right? So now once we begin to compress on the ureter, some people even end up with kidney failure. Because now the urine cannot descend as it should because there's something, blocking it, right? And so for those people, again, sometimes we may do surgery just to relieve the pressure on the surrounding organs, but it may not do much because the cancer is already spreading. Then stage 4, where we don't want anybody to get to, is where it has moved to other parts of the body. So the lungs, the bone. Cancers, for some reason, like the lungs, they like liver. So once it gets to these major organs, you end up with maybe lung failure, liver failure. Some people will end up with kidney failure. That is what actually kills most of our cancer patients. It is not the cancer itself. It is the effect it has on the other major organs in the body, right? So once it gets to your lungs, your liver, your bones, some people will come with back pain. Some people will come looking jaundiced and all that. Then we know that.
Tell me what we have on the screens right there, right now. If you can project it on the bigger one for me, I'll be grateful. Tell us what it looks like right now on the screens.
Yes, so you see the very first image is telling us the normal cervix, right? So like I said, the cervix is the connection between the vagina and the uterus or the womb.
Yes.
Right, so that is what the normal cervix looks like. Then when you take the next image after the normal one, that is the stage. So you come to know that even the stages, when we take stage 1, we have stage 1A, we have stage 1B, stage 1A, we have A1, A2, so it's a lot, right? But not to confuse our viewers, you see that when you take the second picture, that is stage 1B, where the cancer, it is still confined to just the cervix, right? So you see the cancer is just in the cervix. The stage 1B, it looks more advanced than stage, the other one, right?
Yeah.
That's late stage 1B. Then when you get to stage 2, you see that now it is entering other of the tissues outside of the cervix.
Out of the cervix.
Yes, now it's moving out of the cervix. So by the time we get to stage 4, it is moved to other parts of the body. Right. So that is just what this image is trying to tell us. Showing us the stages, what the normal looks like, what the cancer cells look like, and then how it progresses.
When we were saying in 2024 we didn't quite like Thursdays, we didn't mean it in a bad way, but we don't really like it because as a woman this morning already my abdomen is shaking because this is what could potentially just take away your life without knowing.
Yes, it has been shown that a lot of women who die young, a good number is cervical cancer. Because, data tells us that there are 600 new diagnoses every year, and half of those people die the same year. So if we diagnose, I said 600,000. So if we diagnose 600,000 people with cervical cancer this year, half of them are going to die. That's 300,000 women.
Just dying of cervical cancer.
Yeah.
The only prevention for this is...
So there isn't just one prevention.
Okay.
So the prevention is the HPV vaccine, right? And then again, even if you do have the virus, regular screening, right? Because once you're screening for the cervical cancer, we can pick up signs that are suggestive and then we treat early. The other thing is we preach ABC. When we're young, they tell us that when it comes to sex, ABC works for us. So A is abstinence.
Yeah.
Your best solution is abstain. Because if you are not having sex, you have no business with HPV.
Absolutely.
Yes. If you are going to have sex, they have to be faithful to your partner. Your partner has to be faithful to you. So we preach mutual monogamy, where both partners have just one partner. So it's just the two of you. So nothing is coming from anywhere else.
No extra members.
Yes. Because if you are faithful, your partner has other partners.
Please.
They will still bring it to you at the end of the day, right? And then the C is condom use. So you can use the condoms to protect you from getting the virus in the first place, just like all the other STIs, right? And then again, like we said, those who smoke, they need to quit smoking because it has been shown that if you smoke HPV, your body cannot get rid of the HPV virus. Women who abuse contraceptives, it's very important that you put a stop to it, right? Those who like taking 2 or 3 after pills in a week, if you think that you want do a better family planning method, it's better than abusing the pills. Because again, it predisposes to things like this. And to our young girls, we encourage them to delay coitus or the first time they have sex. Because early coitus is a risk factor. So if you're having sex at a later age, the chances of you getting the virus reduces. And even the time of even if you do get the virus, if it becomes cervical cancer, you would have been older before it happens. Yeah.
When we were told when we're told to abstain from sex before marriage, it was once a very spiritual conversation, and people thought, oh, what do you think? You didn't have sex early. Some people were even mocked. I remember very well, a very good friend of mine, she actually had sex because she was being mocked because she hadn't had sex yet, and it made her look colloquial or whatever you guys want to call it. But now we've seen the benefits of abstaining and waiting. It goes way beyond the spiritual. It's a very medically related conversation. Once you abstain, you don't have to worry about all of these things. I mean, look at it, cervical cancer. What support systems are available for women who have had to find themselves in this condition, cervical cancer? What support system do they have in Ghana as it stands?
So as it stands, most of the family planning units in Ghana, so hospitals, especially the big hospitals, so the likes of Ridge, Kolebu 37, Konfanoche, and even the district hospitals with family planning units, all of them have units where they take care of these women. So depending on the age at which you are diagnosed, if surgery can be done for you, you'll be counseled appropriately, and then surgery can be done. If it has to be followed up with chemo and radiation, there are systems in place for that. If it's unfortunate that it's already spread, so we can do much for you, we have what we call the palliative care team. A lot of hospitals have a palliative care team who handle people with cancers at the advanced stage. These people help you to make your life as comfortable as it can be before your passing, because we know that once you're at stage 4, you are approaching the end, right? So we try to make your life as comfortable as it can be. So if you have pain, we give you pain medication. If you can eat, we give you infusions. If you have some infection, we treat with antibiotics. We try to make it as comfortable as you can be. And then, of course, the psychologist also comes in to, counsel them, because we know that it can be very, very draining mentally for somebody to be told they have a cancer, they have a year or 3 or less, to die and all that. So it's very important that we always try to do the multidisciplinary approach. However, I think that there is more that we can do as a country, because even though we say these systems are in place, there are some patients who still go on and not get the actual support that they need. And again, even the support systems, apart from the healthcare providers, even our families and our friends, it's very important that people know about these things. If you have a relative with cancer, that is not the time to abuse them, So that's not the time to blame them. It's already happened. So blaming them that you did A and that's why you have this, it was not going to change anything. Just try to be as mentally supportive as you can be. Help them as much as you can help them, because, in the next few years, they are not going to be here anymore. You want to look back on good memories and not bad ones.
Finally, as we wrap up this conversation, awareness on cervical cancer, at least as we've started this year, what would you advise, in fact, for all of us who are interested in this conversation, women, how do we promote this conversation for people to, be aware of this cancer and take the appropriate measures?
Great. I think that most institutions should make this a priority. Because I remember last year, as of October, I was doing a lot of running around teaching women about breast cancer. And I think that if a lot of corporate institutions should do the same, it would go a long way. Personally, I have very recently, we started a medical consult where we can go around and teach and then do the screening for you. So if you're a corporate body and you think that you want to have your women together, you want us to educate them on cervical cancer, we are going to show up. If you want us to screen them, we are going to show up and do that for you, right? And so I think that a lot of institutions should focus on trying to help their women, putting them together, getting healthcare providers to educate them, and then go ahead and do the screening for them. Because the truth of the matter is, after this conversation, if you say everybody should go and screen, I can assure you that majority of people will forget about it after this conversation. Right. But if you bring it to them, of course, it's been brought to them, so they would be encouraged to do it. So I'd encourage corporate bodies, the churches, the schools, they should reach out to healthcare providers. We are available. If they want us to come and educate, we'll be there to educate. If they want us to do the screening as well, we'll be there to screen. Personally, ER Medical Consults, we are doing that. Okay. And so anybody who wants to reach out to us, they can reach out to us. Maybe they can send us a WhatsApp on 0549-823328.
If we want to hear more from your very intelligent self, how do we connect with you?
Yes. Again, because of... I am the face of ER Medical Consult anyway. Okay. So once you reach out to the number, you'll be able to get in touch with me. Right. So 0549-823328. ER Medical Consult. You can find us on social media as well. Or myself, ER the Medic. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'll respond.
Thank you so much here for coming through. We truly appreciate you, Esther. This morning has been very intense. What colors are we using for the cervical cancer?
Cervical cancer, these are the colors I usually see around. Yes.
And white. Yes, so I mean, look at it, look at it.
You came prepared.
Because I have been very, fact, my very good friend, she lives in Sweden, she has cervical cancer now.
Oh,
and so I am very, this conversation is personal to me. I know how we struggle through traveling around trying to get it sorted out. Yeah. And so I know it's a very devastating disease, but also, like she said, we can always totally turn this entire thing around and make it a better conversation for every woman to be more aware of cervical cancer. So this month on MX24, right here on the AM Club, we are going to make sure to do our very best. Thank you so much, Esther, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Now, right here as well, we're doing this for God and country, but stay with us and let's promote this conversation on cervical cancer. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. This has been, of course, this has been the most craziest, lifestyle daily. We'll start it again. But yeah, listen, we're going to survive Thursdays on the AM Club. But let's move on to some plug. Let's get a little...
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
No doubt. Now we're down there. Oh God. Listen. Okay. Say what? Oh.
According to our project, we have to have a seminar at the lorry station, and today this is where I find myself. And we tried giving them some education on first aid and road safety. Everything has gone to a successful end. The drivers were engaging, they shared their ideas, and it was fun and educative.
So the Richard say, in case of baby, I'm for the BC accident now. I did already carry face. I saw in the panel. I will bet on before Modibedu Hospital. And I'm it.
Okay, make us a driver. Na me drive. Me call no me koshasa obi dafo. A obi ani ni chen. Then I was a me as a driver. Then I makosha kwen shabi. Then I was a me.
Passengers ni my ultimate terminate to the hospital.
Okay, now so eno onim say enye safe.
And I almost obaka say bi akora na okumono. Na un be pay, me un be pay.
Now so uya do opa wa say wutam na na say bibi wo kwa wuye.
Obehwe say den yare na ye nansa no ama no so.
Okay, now so da me wo kan say enwo say wutam ni sa. Ebi so anipa na ya metal bleeding. Unni wakotu say oda ho no. Yeah, so first of all, was we check say nipa no ohumi ana say then it's ye check your one wait me say ye di patro na ye fa santo a
me sa osoro me fi do mi ameba atomic ni emo look what say na ma me bi da fem
amoja tunu
moja ntunu but no yo kire say mobile. Some passengers straight to make any. Me you more my car from a time ne to Ken na me go atomic police station. Was a man amaye me na me de carbon na ma sheda. O ma me gina ho the drip see no so share ma me 80 aka be pemon ne. Me sa nka. Enti next time we am me ko to obi da okra me so say me ma no so.
Why hate me? Say o man be sisa leadership by example. Si say bia wa be to obi enda form say na o pese o mbo no wo di wo nkwa like for a man no immediately now ugbo nipa that moment na no wudi nipa ne koya na esi gina ho menko but excuse me that moment no wudi nipa ne rush to hospital say o ma say obi enya like say o say na call so say nipa ne be take over I was be hwe bibi o ko no esi bi there menko
koye enye easy sa we papa mo bia is off ago to so bi da ho no fi so be boa na e fa woni so be se wumle o ka so boa o be boa na we no mo kire so je so mo kire se bi accident si wo kwan mo kwa o mo kire se bi fi gura na BBC a so bi feti a ni nyina se ko be fa so a e bi obi wo kam bi aturu wo kam first day o be man asa na wa ko hospital e no mo kire it is say we ya papa na so ko do evidence always two time a ene o pa menye o person an why
You're welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. Yes, those were that's like except some of the conversations that were had regarding road safety. You're welcome back to the show. My name is Miriam Udwak Mensah. We have in the studio a wonderful woman who is embarking on a project that I think it's very unlikely to see a woman fronting such a project, but I absolutely admire her for that. She is in person of Mrs. Wenia R, Ansah, face of Road Safety Africa. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Amongst all the things you could do in this world, you chose road safety.
Yes.
And we have some of your videos or episodes of the conversation on road safety or Miss Road Safety, right?
Face of Road Safety.
Face of Road Safety,
yes.
Already playing on MX24. Yes. First of all, congratulations on the big start.
Thank you.
And like I was asking earlier, of all the things you could have participated in, road safety, why?
I know road safety is a very difficult project to embark on, but it's an essential problem in the country at the moment, and we need to tackle it. Road safety is everyone's business, and when we are able to understand the etiquette on the road, I think it would help us. And then these etiquettes are supposed to start from our drivers. Most of our drivers do not go to driving school before they even start working on the road, especially the commercial bus drivers, our trotro station. Most of them learn the job on the right there, and then they start
in the school parks.
I know, right? And then they start taking people out. So we thought of the DVLA is supposed to take charge, but you know, Ghana is Ghana. Before something, they would have to start seriously on embarking such projects. It will take time. So, and the accidents on the road too are very rampant these days. It's not easy. Little negligence that causes these accidents. So our core mandate was, why not embark on this journey? Lead this journey with vibrant women. That was then. Now they are men inclusive in a way, so that we can be able to spread the road safety message, so that they would understand why they need to know this road etiquette, so that the road accidents would at least, we can't say we are going to take road accident will stop completely, but at least the little they learn, the ideas they get, they'll be able to at least limit the accidents. So our education basically is centered on first aid and a little message on road safety. First aid, I believe first aid is something that we should all know, because these accidents occur and then we have no idea, no knowledge on how we should go about that very moment before help come. Our ambulance normally delays before they come. And then, yes, and then these drivers too, because they don't know anything about first aid, they just jump in and then try saving people when an accident occurs. Yes, but at least if every driver have an idea of, okay, something has happened, this is how I'm going to go about it before help come. At least we'll be able to save more lives before help come. Before even putting the patients in your car in an attempt to save the person, there are certain things you are supposed to do. If not, you will get to the hospital and the person is gone. And then if the person goes, you are in trouble. The police case, you'll be going up and down and stuff. But at least if you have an idea of how to secure that person before even the person gets to the hospital, you might have saved the person. Yes, maybe the position of the person lying down, how you tilt his head, how maybe you turn him in your car before. All these petty things add up to the fact that you can be able to prolong the person's life, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes before you get to the hospital. And you can be able to save yourself. Maybe the person might not die before you even get to the hospital. Yes. So this education needs to go around. But who is taking it around? Whose job is it?
To just going round.
Yes.
Those times there were billboards on what to do when to prevent road accidents. Yet now we don't have those again. So it's their job.
Yes.
You have taken it upon this big institution's job. You've taken it upon yourself to do it. How challenging has this been?
It has not been easy. But I'm such a person who loves to create platform for people. Yes, and out of everything, as he said, road safety though looks challenging. It's I see a very big platform there for my ambassadors. Yes, because there are so many things they could have spearheaded, but road safety, it's a very big platform, especially, and then the road safety industry too, it's big. So in as much as I'm trying to solve problem, I'm also trying to create very good platform for the ambassadors who come for the program. Yes, it's a platform I believe opens doors for these ambassadors. They're able to liaise with people like the National Road Safety Authority, the Red Cross Ghana, the DVLA, and then the Ministry of Road and Transport and all that. So this platform equipped these young people as a stepping stone, to greater heights. Yes, so that is why I chose this platform.
How has it been so far? You have how many episodes on air now?
I think so far 4.
4.
Yes.
Every single one has a different project attached to it.
Every single one has a different program. The first one, we started with a debate. Yes, and the first debate was they debated on if tarred roads were more safer than on tarred roads. Accident occurs on tarred road rampant than on tarred road. And then the second debate was if car insurance, motor insurance was necessary, since drivers do not even understand, most of the drivers do not even understand.
Only when police arrest you.
Yes, they don't even understand the policy, and they don't even go for claim. So paying it isn't necessary. So they debated on it, and it was quite fun. They brought out some interesting ideas, but we are hoping it will go far so that people understand why they should pay insurance, and we also hope that the insurance companies to start giving claims.
Because once you don't come for it, it's a win for them. You're not about to chase it to give you your claim.
On one occasion, we went out for this road safety campaign, and I remember a motor rider said he once tried to go for claim, and then they told him that the motor he registered with was white, but this particular one is black. So they won't give the claim to him. So, but it's the same motor, but he just changed the color.
The color.
So it's like, I don't know what the insurance companies are doing. They should come out clear, explain for people to understand how to go for claim.
Because you look, when you're looking at giving your client's claim, it's beyond the color of the vehicle or the color of whatever it is that was insured. There are more details you need to look into. And that also is a very relevant conversation. I can imagine what the debate looked like.
Yeah, the debate was quite interesting. That was the first episode, the first 2 episodes, the third episode, I think, was I don't remember very well, but I think the one you just played was the fourth episode. Yes.
Now, in this one,
the third episode was also another road safety campaign. At Domi Kwabenya. 3 of the contestants chose Domi Kwabenya to embark on that road safety campaign. They got the Motor Riders Association there. They had them, and then they had a conversation with them. It was quite interesting. We had the assemblyman even come in to support the station masters, and it was quite interesting. And it really impacted, and they wished we could come
a bit more often.
Yes, a bit more often. And then they were even more interested in the first aid. They even wanted us to give them certificates for the first aid. So you could see that they are ready and willing to learn, but the education is not being brought to them, or they don't even know how to get that knowledge. So they were like, oh, we really want to learn. We really want to learn. We really want to put ourselves together and learn, so that even if we would get a certificate or something to show that we've gone through this kind of training, it would help us. Yes, but who is bringing it to them?
Exactly, and the institutions that are responsible for these things are not forthcoming.
That is it.
So great job that you take this upon yourself. Yes. What does the future look like? So you have a couple more episodes to go.
Yes.
You still have your contestants in there.
Yeah, we started with 16, but now we have 12.
You have 12.
Yes.
How many are going for the finals?
10.
10.
Yes.
Okay. I want to find out the winner. I mean, they all serve as ambassadors, as you rightly said. But the winner, what would the winner's role be? Because I'm looking at, after that, yes, definitely there's a prize to it. There's this, there's that. But what would the role of the winner be after this whole event?
So right from the start, the name of the project is Face of Road Safety Africa. So even before you join, you know you are coming in for road safety. Yes, so the winner automatically continues the project where we end. Because the pageant itself is full of projects. So before you end, you know where we have gotten to and where we need to continue from. And the main agenda is road safety. Yes. So anything related to road safety, to send the message out there, the ambassador continues from there. Yes. Previously, our ambassadors embark on road safety journeys in the schools, in institutions, and sometimes we go for seminars and programs on road safety. Sometimes they even go out with Red Cross Ghana to other regions to back on this road safety messages and stuff. So it's what the ambassador is supposed to do is already there.
So you just continue the project
Okay.
That is it.
Interesting. I think when we're watching the video, there was a complaint from one of the taxi drivers or drivers, and I think that is a problem that cuts across because I remember there was a friend of mine also who was in that situation. I think his was not more of a car or road accident, but whatever happened to that particular person, he just saw the person in an uncomfortable situation, decided to help the person, and at the end of the day, he was rather apprehended for it. So it looks like people are afraid of the fact that if this happens to this particular person and I don't know the person from anywhere, and I take this person, to a hospital or whatever it is. I mean, people have been imprisoned or, faced the law in one way or the other. So now they don't want to help any. They want to help anybody who finds themselves in an accident or anything of that sort. Looking at that being a very challenging thing. Is this something you've considered to address?
Yes, it is.
Holistically?
It is. One thing we do not know is our safety, how will I call it, safety measures. If you go and meet such a person, you want to help the person, there are certain things you are supposed to do so that you don't implicate yourself. Yes. First of all, you need to look for help. You don't even touch the person at all. You need to look for witnesses. You need to look for people. Yes. If you are the only person who came to meet the person, you can choose. You can decide to help or not. But if you decide to help, you can go maybe 5 meters ahead or 5 meters from where you are coming from. You look for people to come and help you.
Okay.
When you get the help, then if you have the idea, the first aid knowledge, that is when you start applying it.
Okay.
First of all, you check if the person have pulse. We do not know all this, but it's simple things that we all need to learn. Because the person may not have, the person may not be dead, but looking from afar, you think, oh, this person there, he's gone. But maybe he's not gone. If you knew this simple things, you would serve the person. So after you look for help, and now you have witnesses, and now you want to help the person. By then, you might have called the police already, so that you even report before even you come to touch the person.
Okay.
Then, before even you touch the person too, if there is a rubber or there is something in your car that you can put it on your hands, you can do that. Then you can check the person's pulse and see if the person is still alive. If you know CPR, you try it. But if you don't know and you see that the person is alive, then you can quickly, with those people around, pick the person, put the person in your car, and you take the person to the hospital.
Okay.
You can save the person. But people do not know this. So when they see the person and then there's no eyewitness or there are no people around, they tend to leave the person and then they go.
All of these are we need to learn. It's education that is very relevant, and that's why we're still calling on the relevant stakeholders. Do you have their support though?
Yes, but not in cash.
In what? You're coming to support you DVLA, right?
Yes, and road safety.
And road safety.
The road safety have been with me since the onset. They gave me the endorsement to start the whole project. Yes, they've been there supporting, but I'm here to receive the cash from.
Are some of the key people as part of the judges or something?
Yes,
okay.
I have. What's her name? Madam Perpetual from Road Safety,
from Road Safety,
part of my team. Yes.
Okay, great. So this is a project that we think that as Ghanaians we can support and also promote road safety. We have a couple of individuals who are already doing these projects online. Your very good friend.
Yes, Samuel White.
Samuel White Foundation has been on this. So we have a couple of people who, but this is also a very big one that you definitely need support. How do we connect with your platform and throw in support if we can?
Okay, so we are on all social media platforms. We are on the website www.goshenbh.com, and then I'm available. My numbers can be put out there.
Please go ahead.
So that if you need to support the project, we will be very grateful. It's 020-226-1152 or 0240-892806. Yes, those are my numbers. And we are ready to partner, whoever wants to come on board. It's going to be a lifelong project. Every year we are going to do that, and then we are hoping to get it bigger and better each year. Yes. And we are hoping to be able to enter into the road safety market as well, because the industry is big. Yes. And once we get there, we know the message would go down to where we want.
Because you have 16 regions to protect.
Yes.
And so all the best. At what times does it air on GM?
I think Sundays on 9 p.m. Sundays at 9 p.m.
Sundays at 9 p.m. Sundays at 9 p.m. We're live with Face of Road Safety on MX24. Just make sure to stay right there. Let's educate ourselves. Let's learn and grow together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for coming through.
And the social media handles as well?
Yeah, on Instagram is Fossa Africa Foundation. Okay. On Facebook is Face of Road Safety Africa. Okay. Yes. Okay. And then the website is www.goshenhouse.com. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're encouraging you to on Sundays at 9 p.m. Face of Road Safety on MX24. Okay, so don't move. Okay, stay right here with us. My name is Miriam Udwa-Kamensa. This has been an exciting episode of the AM Club right here on MX24. Make sure to join us online. We're live here from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single weekday right here. Make sure to connect with us as well. The conversation continues on politics. Let's call it politics now, not elections. Politics on www.mxn4.app/voting voices.
Well, my name is Kojo Dasover. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's a beautiful Thursday. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Make sure you give us a follow and you get acquainted with us when we're off camera. Of course, on our socials, it's MX24GH across all platforms. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
My own. See the money, baby, come chop on for me.